Hi, my name's Justin O'Mara Smith and I'm the Divisional Manager, People with Disability at RISE. It's my pleasure to be leading the staff and leading the teams that work to support people with disabilities to live a good life. Working at RISE represents a great opportunity, not only for our staff but also for the people we support. What's fantastic about working at RISE is we don't support people with disabilities, we support people. So when we think about a person with a disability, we don't think about their disability, we think about them as a person. What's unique about them? Where are they at in their life? What does it mean for them to live a good life? Having a housing division represents such a fantastic opportunity for a person with a disability. For all of us, having a home is what makes us feel safe and secure. It's the foundation for living a good life. To provide a spectrum of flexible supports, we need not only flexible staff and flexible choices, we also need a flexible range of accommodation, whether that be supporting the person in their own home, supporting a person in the home of their family, supporting a person to live in an independent living unit that's co-located with others so they have access to 24/7 support. It may also be about living in supported accommodation, sharing a home with others with 24/7 staff. At RISE People with Disability Division, we have 4 key service areas. Supported accommodation, where we provide 24-hour support and accommodation for a person with a disability where they share their home with others. It's most important that we remember that it's not our workplace, it's their home. And to best support them and to treat them with the respect and the dignity that all of us would want for ourselves, it's most important that we recognise this is their home. So when we work in their home, we do with respect and we do with dignity. People live a comfortable life, people live a good life when they feel that they're in the right home, and compatibility is so key to that. It's not only the compatibility with the other people that they live with, but it's also the compatibility with the staff that work alongside them. Some people transition to supported accommodation from their family home or from their own home. Some people with disabilities transition from supported accommodation into their own home when we've supported them and helped them to develop the skills to live more independently. The supported accommodation is just one of the options we provide. Staff in supported accommodation work in mini-teams. It's a 24/7 shift roster. All staff working in supported accommodation work with the support of a team leader, and as a team they help people with disabilities to live a good life. Individual Options is a service that's provided in the community, in the home of a person with a disability or in the home of their family or carer. Individual Options is a specialised and targeted support. It is individualised. It's about working with a person with a disability and their natural supports, be that their mum, their dad, their carers, their neighbours, their friends, the people they work with. We co-design a service working with the person with the disability and their natural supports to understand what our role is as paid workers. We're support workers, but we're not the only person in their life. It's not about paid support, it's about good support. RISE provides respite through Nobel House. Nobel House, like supported accommodation, is a purpose-built home that's fully accessible that meets the needs of people with physical and/or intellectual disabilities. Nobel is a beautiful home in a beautiful setting and provides a great opportunity to bring some spice of life and something different for a person with a disability. Respite can be provided in Nobel, in the home of a person with a disability, or in a variety of settings. Open Options is a day program that provides an opportunity for a person with a disability to have meaningful opportunities during the day. Those could be developing social skills, community access, learning new skills, making friends, sport, recreation and leisure activities. In Open Options, services are individualised, but best outcomes are achieved where a person with a disability is supported in their own community. So activities are developed in the homes, in the community, and in the network of a person with a disability. A great opportunity comes when we think about doing something different rather than doing what we've always done before. I think about Dylan, who's a young man that we support in Open Options. For many years, Dylan went to a music group, a group that he enjoyed. Dylan having a severe and profound disability, no one knew what Dylan liked or didn't like. He couldn't tell you. But we did learn what he liked through his emotions, through his demeanour. No one knows Dylan better than his parents. Dylan's parents were approached and suggested that we try something different. Whilst the music group was something Dylan enjoyed, it was time for us to try to find new opportunities that would help Dylan to live a good life. A fantastic support worker and team leader met with Dylan's parents and thought about a new opportunity, a fishing group. Dylan has a severe and profound intellectual disability. He has significant physical disabilities, which means that he's in a wheelchair. Who would have thought that what was right for Dylan was to join a fishing group, go out on a boat, on a charter and catch fish? Trying something new worked so well for Dylan when, after his first session, his parents met him at the dock. They could see he had a good time, they could see his enjoyment, they could see the enthusiasm, they could feel from him that something exciting had happened. Open Options are about trying new things, developing new skills, making new friendships, making new networks, and living a good life. There are 7 key service principles that we work within to guide us in our work in the People with Disability Division. Providing these principles helps all staff to understand the framework in which we work in. Our first service principle is person-centred services. Person-centred services means engaging with the person and other people in their life, understanding who they are. It's not about their disability or their ability, it's about who they are, who they see themselves as being. Positive behaviour support is a second principle. A person with a disability works best when they're supported to live a good life. Through positive behaviour support, our goal is to reduce and eradicate the restrictive practices that keep a person with a disability constricted. The best outcomes are achieved when the person with a disability is given guidelines and the freedom to live a good life. Through positive behaviour support, it's about helping a person make good choices, not restricting them from making bad choices. Choice and control belongs in the hands of a person with a disability, and that's our next service principle. For so long, a person with a disability has been a passenger in their own life, and well-meaning people like you and I try our best to help them to live a good life. But what we're doing is we're making their choices, we're exercising our control. Just think about when you go out into the community with the people we support, seeing them sit down with a salad and a water whilst you have a can of Coke and a pie. It's not about making better choices for others than we do for ourselves. It's about helping a person with a disability to make their own choices, to live a good life. Our next service principle is active support. Active support is around a planned and systematic way to supporting a person to live a good life. It's about involving them in the day-to-day choices, the day-to-day things that all of us do. To give an example, it's not about making lunch for a person, it's about involving the person in making their own lunch. Where a staff says, sit down, let me make you lunch, all they're doing is saving time. Active support is about involving a person with a disability in their day-to-day. Our next service principle is just enough support. It can take months or years for a person to develop new skills. But sadly, in just a few days or weeks, those skills can be degraded and lost. It's not the role of a support worker to take control of a person's life. It's our role to shadow them, to be a mentor, to be a coach, to walk alongside them and help them to live their own life. For a person with a disability, just enough support means they're in control. They're living their own life, they're making their own choices, and when they need help, it's our job to be there. Following the lines of choice and control, our other service principle is self-direction. Self-direction means knowing what you want, when you want it, and what you want to do with it. Our role is to support a person to make those choices. It may take a long time because a person with a disability in today's world rarely is provided with the opportunity to make their own choices. Our final principle is one person at a time. If we're to bring about a change in the way we work, it will happen one person at a time. So when you're working with a person with a disability, think about what's right for them. Think about the choice today. We can bring about great changes in the community and great changes in the people that we support, but it will happen one person at a time.